What is going on, Ive Warriors? So today we're going to talk about 48-hour fasts. Are they necessary? Are there any benefits to it? And what exactly happens when you do a 48-hour fast? Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Right, so a lot of you guys have asked me many times, hey, look, I'm doing a 48-hour fast. I want to do a reset of some sort. I want to burn fat a little bit quicker. I want to break a plateau. There's been a few, things that are brought up when in conjunction with the 48-hour fast. And mainly it's because most people just want to have this rhythm break where it goes in their favor, right? Maybe the scale isn't moving, or maybe they're not they don't feel like they're in control as much as they want to be, so they do something more aggressive than what they're normally doing. But here are the facts on 48-hour fast. There are very little scientific data out there for 48-hour fast in comparison to all the other fasting structures like the 16-8, which has an abundance of studies. The 20-hour fast as well, one meal a day, has less than those, but still way more than the 48-hour fast. So there are pros and cons to a 48-hour fast, and I'm going to talk about them here briefly, but it's not it's negligible in both directions. The changes that you get, whatever you receive from a 48-hour fast, is negligible in both directions, and I'll explain why. For example, for the negative elements of the 48-hour fast, you're more than likely going to be tapping into muscle tissue. That's just something that more than likely will happen. Now, everyone's different. People have different points where gluconeogenesis triggers, but for most people at a 48-hour mark, before you got to that 48-hour period, you've probably burned through a little bit of muscle. Now, because you're just doing this 48-hour fast this one day to kind of reset or boost or whatever it is, you only got it's so negligible, the amount of muscle that you're losing, that it's not that big of a deal. So I wouldn't discourage you simply from this one time of doing 48-hour of doing a 48-hour fast because you're going to lose all your muscle. That's hyperbolic. Are you going to lose some muscle tissue? Absolutely. Is it going to be anything major? No, it'll be negligible. Now, on the flip side, yes, there's going to be some fat loss there, but that's also the little bit more fat loss that you get for that one day is negligible. My philosophy when it comes to weight loss is consistency, not so much having a one boost kind of thing. That's one of the reasons why I'm not so much of a fan of the scale being the barometer for your success, because people don't look at that scale and understand so much of the complexities of what's going on in terms of your full body weight, that for most of it doesn't necessarily have to do with body fat. It's muscle tissue, it's glycogen buildup, it's glycogen reduction or glycogen loss or glycogen depletion. It's water weight, water retention, food intake, the actual food that has to be digested. There's so many things that cause the weight on the scale to fluctuate, and actually water weight is the thing that is fluctuating the most. So if you wake up one day and you've lost 1 pound, and you wake up the next day and you've lost a half a pound, you could have lost in total in the last week or so 5 pounds or 4 pounds, or in the last month, you could have lost 5 to 8 pounds of body fat consistently in a consistent pace But you won't ever feel that way because you're seeing that you're losing 1 pound, you're gaining 2 pounds, you're losing 1, so you're -1, then you're gaining 3, then you're losing 2, then you're losing 1, and then losing 1, and then gaining 4. So to you, you think your workout isn't working, or I'm sorry, your regimen, your weight loss regimen isn't working because you're only focused on the number. And that's what brings people to do stuff like a 48-hour fast. When in reality, consistency is probably the best. Water retention, water weight, water release, all of that stuff is going to move at different pace, at different speeds, but eventually you will get to see it on the scale. The weight will, because you're losing so much body fat from the consistency, that it is inevitable that that scale will go down, which is why usually when you're consistent, what you see is a line chart that kind of moves like this. When you're losing weight, it's not a straight line. It's never going to be a straight line, but it's also, it's not perfect, right? So it'll go up here, down here, like this, right? And but you're trending down. So it's not, a 48-hour fast essentially isn't necessary if the main focus is additional fat loss or to break a plateau or anything like that. When I was back in the days, before all of these data points used to come out, you could have easily thought that a 48-hour fast will help, and you will see weight reduction, obviously, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you've just lost 5 pounds or 7 pounds of body fat because you did a 48-hour fast. You more than likely lost a majority of water weight. Now, one thing that I would say it may be helpful in, and where there's a reason for this, right? Like this piece of it exists, and it can be a tool when it comes to 48-hour fast, is the reset, in the sense of trying to get yourself to going through this massive amount of discomfort in comparison to your normal everyday eating, so that you can then fast more comfortably. Now, if you don't understand what I said there, if it's a little bit confusing, what I'm trying to say is the 48-hour fast helps you get into a flow where your everyday fast, like the 16-8 or the 20-hour and fasting 4 hours of eating, become much more comfortable almost instantaneously, because the 48-hour fast was so uncomfortable. And then you become more accustomed to doing the normal everyday fast. Now, if you're struggling with the normal everyday fast, a 48-hour fast can actually almost quickly jolt you into assisting you into doing those with little resistance. Obviously, if you derail yourself, then it's going to be an issue after you've done the 48-hour fast. But if you use the 48-hour fast as a way to reset your hunger hormones, then it can be a plausible strategy. Granted, understand, muscle loss is there, but it's negligible. Fat loss will be there, but it's negligible. What you care about more is consistency. And if that helps you create a rhythm of consistency, then in that respect, 48 hours makes sense. But for everything else, if it's like to reset your body for health or rejuvenate it, none of that stuff has been shown to happen with a 48-hour fast, in the sense, in the way that you think it's happening, right? And the only thing that, one of the best things that could come from it is literally just a hormone kind of reset, in a way where if you've been eating, you can't really stick to your fast, you do a 48-hour fast, and that may help you get into fast much easier on intraday fasts, in an intraday system, as opposed to doing these long-term fasts like a 48-hour fast. So hopefully this video has helped. I've had so many questions on 48-hour fasts and their benefits, if there are any benefits, and I'm trying to tackle it through the perspective of what I think you guys are referring to in every way imaginable, either by the reset, by the fat loss, by the plateau breaking, what have you. So hopefully I've answered your question. If you have more questions on 48-hour fast, or you have more questions on different types of fasts that are prolonged, go ahead and let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll try to answer those questions for you, because I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys the information that you guys are looking for. Until the next time, this is Edward from Fledge Fitness. Peace out.